In the very opening minutes of the show, we kind of see Kate as a young girl witnessing the Battle of New York and this strong impression that Clint made on her at an early age. And then we see how excited she is to actually meet him face to face at the end of the episode. I kind of wanted to start by asking you guys, how does Kate's kind of admiration for Clint or her idolization of him differ from, say, the people that are asking him for selfies or asking for his autograph from Rogers the Musical? How is that different from the other kind of idolization he gets?
With what we see with, the fans that come up to him that, want to take a picture with him, it's them sort of recognizing him in a public setting and being starstruck and being excited about the fact that he's in a place that they wouldn't have expected to see him. So they want to document it and they want to have a moment with him, and whether or not they're lifelong fans or not, or they're getting it for the picture to say it happened, we don't necessarily know. But with Kate, we do know that she makes this discovery of Hawkeye at a time of extreme loss in her life. And she sees in him part of what she's lost, this human who is as ambitious and maybe a little reckless and exciting as she is. Someone who wants to help people, who wants to protect people, who loves people and will do anything for the people that he loves. And she recognizes that part of him, and that's what she idolizes.
Does Clint kind of initially receive Kate as just another fan?
I think anything initially is going to be just an obstacle in the way. Part of it is his annoyance, really kind of directed at her, is the annoyance and heaviness that weighs upon his shoulders. But what happened over 5 years is Ronin as a vigilante, taking out bad people, but just, not doing it in the normal sort of protocol that an Avenger would do it. So yeah, I think the suit represents more the annoyance, and yeah, I'm sure he's annoyed at the character, but it's and then also it's just an obstacle in the way of getting back to his family and Christmas, right? It's only just that, and he's like, I'm not in work mode, and now I have to go to work. And it's Christmas. I've had a Christmas with my family, right? It's just all those kind of things,
Totally.
From grumpy Avenger to the guy just wants to go be with his family.
This is the first Christmas we've had together in years.
I love you guys. I'm making up for some lost time.
Authorities are wondering if the masked vigilante who terrorized the city's underworld is back.
The past has caught up with me.
Should we be worried?
No, it's nothing. I'll be home for Christmas. I promise.
Awesome. Hailee, you mentioned that first scene is one of kind of profound loss for Kate. I thought it was interesting that this is a bit of a change from the comic book source material, where in the comics, Kate lost her mom at a young age and is kind of reckoning with her relationship with her dad in adulthood. In this, it's the reverse. She lost her dad and she's kind of dealing with her adult relationship with her mom. What do you kind of like about that relationship? How would you kind of describe her dynamic with her mom and building that dynamic with Vera?
I loved getting to figure this one out with Vera. She is just absolutely incredible, and this is a relationship that's rather complicated. We worked very hard to try and figure out how we could make the most sense of the first time we see them together. Kate as she's older. Anyway, she's at a point in her life where she's really coming into her own. She's been dealing with the loss of her father for some time now. Her and her mom have two very different ideas of what Kate's future looks like and what they want it to be. There's a deep-rooted love there and an ultimate understanding, but a lot of complicated mother-daughter situations and conversations that they have that we see play out.
Would you say that part of that is Kate uncomfortable at all, kind of with her upbringing or her wealth, or does she just kind of take some pleasure in rebelling against expectations, like say wearing a suit when everybody wants her to wear a dress and stuff like that?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think she's trying to prove to her mother that she is very much her own person now. She is in fact able to decide what she does when she does it, although she still lives under her roof and has to follow her rules. So it's this sort of fine line of what can she get away with and how much can she sort of test her mom.
When I wore this suit, I made a whole lot of enemies.
You're a Hawkeye.
Who the hell are you?
Some people have actually called me the world's greatest archer.
Are you one of those people?
Jeremy, I wanted to ask you about a scene from the second episode where Clint finds himself in the midst of a bunch of live action role players in the park. Had a lot of energy playing that scene. What was kind of fun about playing Clint kind of stuck in this?
That idea was pitched to me, and I'm like, why? We got to make sure that's in, because of my own personal experience at a Comic-Con or whatever it might be, and it's just because my experiences as me, in these environments, and it's just sort of, to me, whether it's a past, whether it's just for me or if it is my sort of like saying, hey man, I love the fans and wanted the fans to get a kick out of it. I just thought nothing cooler than, if Clint Barton was going around, play fighting with a bunch of people at Comic-Con. I think they get a big kick out of that. So I don't know, I just thought it was a cool sense of humility and good fun humor to kind of insert into the show.
What does it kind of specifically mean to Clint to first meet Kate? She's wearing the Ronin suit. This is kind of, as you were kind of saying, this is a part of his life that he's not entirely proud of, and yet the suit is in front of his face and kind of becoming this red herring. How is he dealing with all of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't think that part ultimately is expressed, like his feelings towards it. Just, it's again, not a proud moment. It's maybe a shameful moment. Maybe like things if it's just not something you want to look back on. And even what he did was really righteous. Just didn't, it's just a thing. It's on his back, and she's the one that represents that thing. It's trying to put that to bed like he did years and years ago.
Maybe part of Clint's fear is that people like Kate will take the wrong lessons from his career or be inspired by this period he's not proud of.
Well, I mean, it creates there's a lot of bad guys, when he's wearing that.
Right.
He went after like some of the worst of the worst, and you see that he's actually alive and around. They're going to come after him. Mm-hmm. And you have a young kid in a suit. Like, this is not what you want. Right now, it becomes my responsibility because I know this information. Right? It's just his own weight, his own that he's got to deal with, but it sets up a lot for our show.
Oh no! Get out!
Told you.
Yeah.
And so, having seen the first couple episodes and how Kate and Clint are kind of initially brought together by these circumstances, what can you guys tease about how their relationship kind of evolves going forward over the course of the show?
Hard to, without giving too much away.
Yeah.
but knowing that it is a true evolution. We see the two of them meet for the first time, and this is Kate face to face with her idol in a situation that she has no idea how high the stakes are, how much danger she's in. She's just absolutely, completely excited that he's just right there. And she has so many questions and so many things she needs him to sign, and so many other priorities until she quickly realizes what the situation is. And then she quickly becomes someone that wants to be at his level and be an ally and his, partner. So it ultimately sort of evolves into this partnership that continues to evolve from there.
Yeah.
In the first episode, we see Clint definitely feeling the loss of Natasha, who was this great partner to him for so much of his career. Is there any way in which Kate kind of compares to Natasha for him as like a female kind of comrade in arms that maybe he's looking after the way Natasha used to look after him a little bit? Are there any similarities you see there?
I think that there's certain things that tie into that for sure. I think there's a lot of things that happen because of that. That's not replacing a partner and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, all those things will come up. You're gonna have to watch the show. It's talking about the evolution of the arc of the two main characters of this thing. And you can't reveal too much because it can start spoiling things. It's but it is some of the most valuable arc in the show is the relationship between Clint and Kate.